The new season information is here, and today's video on the update news for World of Tanks console will look at all of this for both Modern Armour, the Cold War game mode, and also World War II as well. So we're going to cover all of the World of Tanks content for both kind of variants of World of Tanks, and we're going to get into all of the update information from last week that I wasn't able to cover due to being on holiday. So first things first, well, of course we have the Tank Commander event mode retiring on August 24, so if you want to be able to play the last couple of times on this Tank Commander mode, whereby you can control a variety of different tanks playing against another person, it's just like a one-on-one type of thing, but you have like 7 tanks that you can control or something like that, and that will be turned off on August 24th, 2021, and will no longer be accessible after the weekly restart of our servers. So that's what Wargaming have said. Basically that just means that you will never be able to play this ever again on World of Tanks Modern Armour. And so if you want to play it, then get on now in the next 3 days as of recording this video to play it, and then yes, it will be leaving the game. As far as the kind of interesting stuff, well, of course, the new season has been revealed by Wargaming console, and it is World of Tanks Modern Armour Arms Race. So what does this mean? Well, basically, it is the new season coming in. It is from the 24th of August to the 12th of October. So, of course, it's just over a month. So we've got probably, what's that, maybe 6 or 7 weeks worth of content for this season. Of course, you'll be able to purchase the season pass for 2,000 gold when it drops on the 24th of August, which is of course Tuesday as of the recording of this video. Of course, if you're watching it later on down the line, then you probably already know what the season is and how much it is and all of the different things that come along with that. Now, you can probably expect that when the season drops, you'll get 3 different tiers of Season Pass. Of course, you get the free Season Pass with every season, whereby, you know, if you get to rank 100, you'll basically get a free Tier 8 or Tier 9 or Tier 10 tank, depending on what Wargaming are feeling like. And then, of course, you can buy the Season Pass, which is basically 2,000 gold for the base one. And then you have the Ultimate Season Pass, which will cost you in between 11 and 13,000, I think it was. I think it's somewhere in that region, depending on what the premium tank that is offered within the Ultimate Bundle. It is basically a premium tank that you'll get straight away, along with 25 extra levels, I think it is, that will just boost you straight to level 25 on the Season Pass, so you get all of the rewards from that. And then I think you get like a couple of skins and maybe a commander. I think that's usually how they work it with the Ultimate one. But then again, you are spending £40, but if you're willing to spend £40 a month or every 6 weeks when each new season comes out for a new tank, and to be able to get your hands on the content as quickly as possible, then you know, it's up to you. But for me, just the standard season pass will get you your gold back and also give you some free premium tanks along with it. Lots of gold, key cards, and a variety of different things. So yeah, the 2,000 gold season pass is definitely the one to go for. Now, as you've probably been seeing on screen right now, well, we have some new tanks coming into the game in the form of the T55A medium tank. Now, we haven't got too much information on how this tank will actually play with regards to statistics or any of the in-game attributes of the T55A, but yes, it is finally coming in to the World War II mode. Yes, we have it on the Cold War game mode, but of course this will be coming into World War II. On World of Tanks, this one has a good turret armor. It's got fairly decent hull armor as well. It's got this really nice gun, and of course you'll be able to get your hands on it. Let me know when you actually comes to the season pass, whether or not this will actually be the tier 100 reward or not is kind of up to your kind of opinion. Whether or not it is an actual one that you'll have to purchase with real money, yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Now, with regards to the Object 934, the Escalation Era Eastern Alliance light tank, so if you've ever seen the LT-432 or the tier 10 Russian light tank, then yeah, of course you'll be able to actually recognize this very easily. This is the premium version basically of a light tank from the Eastern Alliance, so the Soviet light tanks. Yeah, I think that this one's going to be very interesting to see. Don't know how broken or particularly great this tank will be, but yeah, I guess you'll just have to wait and see in the mode, and if you actually pick it up throughout the season or whatever, yeah, I guess it's interesting. Then, of course, we have the T-72M1, the Escalation Era Eastern Alliance heavy tank. This one comes in at the second era, so of course you've got the post-war era, then you've got Escalation Era, and then you've got Detente Era as well, which is the max tier era kind of thing within Cold War. Definitely going to be interesting to try out both of these tanks within the game mode if I can get my hands on them. And yeah, the arms race will start on Tuesday, August 24th. So in the meantime, you probably want to prepare yourself, get yourself loads and loads of silver built up throughout these next couple of weeks, or this next couple of days even, before the week starts on Tuesday. And then you'll be able to, get your hands on some of the interesting stuff straight away. As far as some of the other things that will be coming into this season, we will be getting a brand new light tank line within Cold War, which means that you'll be able to actually pick this up for free. They are not premium tanks. You will be able to get them. It is the BMP-1 in the Escalation Era. You'll also have the BMP-2 in the Escalation, the BMP-3, which starts in the Detente Era, and then we have a few other things within the game as well. And then, of course, the first one in the post-war is the PT-76, which is this one. So if you want to pause the video, have a look at them, then you can do. I'll go fairly slow here so that you can do that yourself. Then, of course, we have new tank destroyers. So for the first time in a while in Cold War, you'll be able to pick up another tank destroyer. Of course, you have the Eastern or the Western Alliance has that M113, I believe it is. That's a tank destroyer, but this one actually has some new ones. So post-war, we have the SU-122-54 -56, which is basically the year it was brought out. This one's going to be interesting. On World War II, it's not particularly an overpowered tank. It's going to have pretty decent DPM if I'm going to compare it to how it should probably be in game. It will have okay armor, I expect, but it isn't going to be breaking the bank, and certainly you'll just have to find out how that goes later on. Then we have the Object 268-56, so this is also the one that leads off. This one is actually in the post-war era too, so this will be the top tier one, if that makes sense. It will lead off of the T-44A, and actually, if you elite your T-44A, you'll be able to pick up all of these tanks from the post-war era straight away. So if you manage to elite your T-44A right now, then you'll be able to pick up all of these tanks that lead off of the T-44A. So that's something you'll probably want to do when you get onto the game if you have enough time over the weekend. And yeah, let me know how that goes. Now, the brand new tank that we haven't seen before is in the Escalation Era, the second era of Cold War, which is the Object 120. This is a very interesting one. So yeah, it kind of looks like the SU-130 PM hull, but of course it has this really boxy, kind of bulbous turret. I don't know how strong the armor is going to be on that. I wouldn't really say it's going to be super strong, but there we go. I guess we'll just have to wait and see, because we haven't got any statistics. It would have been nice if Wargaming implemented some sort of statistics stuff in this. Yeah, I think it's interesting. As far as some other things coming out, we also have the kind of Q&A, so if you want to stop and have a look at them right now, I won't go through every single one, but they're basically talking about how they'll be different, the tanks. So of course we have the SU-122-54 and the Object 268, which are already in the game, so they're basically saying that it will basically be more related to the T-54 and stuff like that. So you'll basically be getting some statistics that are similar to what we actually see within the other tanks on the line. So yeah, it's definitely something that you will see get changed. It won't be the exact same tank. So yeah, if you're thinking that you'll go into the game and it will have exactly the same statistics as the World War II mode, that just isn't the same one. And then we have the Object 120, of course, this tank destroyer right here, this very novel one. This one actually is very similar to the SU-130 PM, so that's basically what they've said. So that's kind of the similarities that we gave, and it's the next iteration of that. It has armor on the turret, armor on the body, and a much bigger gun, so you'll be able to do more damage. You kind of get that feel in the M60A2 with its huge 152mm, so I guess it's somewhat similar to this, and so you'll be able to be dealing lots of damage and decent alpha as well. So yeah, definitely something to take a look at. As far as the actual update information for this week and next week and the future updates coming to World of Tanks Modern Armour or Cold War or whatever the version you want to call it, then we are going to go through that now. Of course, the T42, the US Tier 8 Premium Medium tank, came out last week on the 17th of August, so if you did actually manage to pick that up, let me know in the comment section down below how that went. But if for those of you that didn't, of course, we can have a look right now. I don't think that this tank is going to be particularly super overpowered. It's probably not one of those that's going to be super good in game. It looks somewhat like an M46 pattern with a Bulldog kind of crossed, but we can have a look at the characteristics here. 1400 hit points, pretty standard at tier 8, 51 kilometers an hour forward, which isn't bad, decent traverse speed but not the best, 10 degrees of gun depression, 208 alpha penetration and 280 damage. It looks okay, 2-second aim time, pretty good accuracy. Rate of fire isn't the best, but then again, it is a medium tank at tier 8, so they don't tend to be super competitive. Anyway, decent view range as well. So yeah, all round, this tank is going to be good. Don't think it's going to be super overpowered, and so certainly if you picked it up, let me know how you get on with this tank in-game. Now, as far as the other stuff, we have, of course, the WWE 3D Commander, so if you manage to pick them up, then make sure you do that if you haven't got them, and if you have, then, you know, that's no difference to you. SummerSlam keycards are in the game right now until Tuesday, the 24th of August, so of course, let me know whether or not you actually have picked up any of them, if you've got any premium tanks, whether you even buy keycards, I don't know, but of course, let me know. And then +1, -1 matchmaker is all weekend, so this weekend we do have +1, -1 matchmaking, which is a big pleasure for a lot of you guys looking at actually playing the game and having a bit more of enjoyment, I guess, this weekend. And then, of course, the Hawk 30 Earn Challenge through the weekend, so you'll be able to pick that up if you haven't already through this weekend until the 24th of August, so make sure that you complete that as quickly as possible, and if you already have, as I'm sure many of you have already completed it, you know, you don't have to worry. Of course, we had the IS-4 line balance updates, which made the actual tanks get a lot better, or at least some of them anyway, with the KV-4 probably still being pretty lackluster because the armor doesn't really do too much. IS-4 saw a lot of increases in its win rate. We also had steady damage improvements, damage blocked increased, also had accuracy increases as well, and yeah, it is still on track until the 30th of August, so you've got a couple of weeks yet until that goes out. Then, next season, of course, we have this big kind of release of information, which we have the T55A, the German Tier 9 medium, is earnable in the free pass, plus 2 other tanks. So you will be able to get 1 tank for free, which will be good. It will be good for those of you. You'll get 2 other tanks as well as part of that. Usually it's a Tier 8 World War II tank, along with a Cold War tank maybe. And then, of course, in the actual season pass, you'll be able to pick up the Object 934 Escalation light tank and skin plus 2 other tanks in the season pass, and then the ultimate pass is actually the T72 M1 Escalation era heavy with skin and Phantom of Fallon 3D Commander. And then, of course, Cold War Eastern light tanks, like we talked about. And if you want to go and check out more information on that, you can do it on the Wargaming Twitch channel, what console it's called. So you can do that if you want to go through the actual stream of all of that information. But of course, this is just kind of a condensed version of that. And then, of course, Legendary Tanks Reforged, which is one of the biggest things, and that is basically a blitzkrieg of balance changes in World War II, with over 70 tanks in tiers 8 to 10 being basically updated, revamped. Things like what we've seen with the IS-4, 70 tanks are all getting reforged right next week. So that is massive. Loads and loads of ones. And then the tanks reforged will continue every 2 weeks after this. So above this, we will also be getting 2 tanks every single 2 weeks, or tanks reforged every 2 weeks even. So you'll be seeing a lot of balance changes coming back to the game. Hopefully it will deal with a lot of the premium tanks that are just non-competitive, and also some of the lower tier tanks that just have been awful throughout the game and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely a good change from me. These 70 tanks, hopefully they don't go too far in the case of a lot of them. But yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. World War II RNG changes, results are here, so I guess we can have a look at them right now, see how well they actually are, but you can see this is the average damage per shot pen, so you can see on the left hand side we've got the selected metric, and then we have the date, so you can see that they actually changed significantly, so everything went down, and then we also saw the average damage per shot penetration and the percentage of shots penetrated. So yeah, I don't know how well that'll actually do. You can see that more people penned since the release of the actual thing. Yeah, I don't quite know what you guys will make of that. Of course, the RNG is adjusted to plus and minus 20% in World War II. So no longer will we have the plus 25, minus 15. It will be 20% just flat above and below the actual metric that you'll be looking at. Then, of course, the survivability of heavy tanks went down, average damage per shot and penetrating shots increased, and then as of Tuesday we'll be moving to plus 20% and minus 20% for damage and penetration, and fire chance stays at 25%. Tank Commander event comes to a close as well next week, of course, like we talked about, and then the interesting stuff is actually the work in progress. Week of the 31st of August 2021, Tanks Reforged returns with changes to the Japanese Type 5 heavy tank line. So that's going to be interesting. Let's see what they actually do with the Type 5 heavy and see if maybe it gets faster, maybe it, gets more armor. I don't know. Maybe or maybe not. We'll just have to wait and see. Let's see what happens. Maybe they'll actually give it a better gun. Maybe they'll increase maybe the turning speed. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, of course, let's hope it's not too much of a buff to make it super overpowered and like an indestructible machine. But there we go. We'll just have to see what Wargaming do with such a tank. Mercenary Earn Challenge for the Deadbolt and Thunderbot. Or I think that's Thunderbolt. And Thunderbot 2D Commander, so you'll be able to pick up that fairly soon on the 31st of August, and the T95 FV4201 UK Tier 10 Heavy, so I'm guessing that you'll be able to actually pick that up for free maybe, and then of course the Great Tank Pursuit with tons of prizes and tanks, so we'll be able to get some more tanks for free essentially. Tons of World War II tank skins are in the bank, so they'll basically be releasing them throughout the next couple of weeks and months. 3D G.I. Joe Commanders recruitable till August 31st. Clan features are still too far off to talk about at this time, so basically another fodding us off with there's nothing actually happening with clans at the moment. And then Pirates, obviously not the season after today's stream, but Pirates, what do you think of my pirate voice? So that's just a meme from Minto Vimto there. Now, that is pretty much it. There is a load of community questions asked and answered, so if you want to check them out right now, you can just pause the video, have a look at them. You can go back through all of the information that we've covered in this video if you want to check out anything again, learn a bit more, but of course we'll just have to see what's happening. Yes, we will be returning to a horizontal tech tree, so for those of you that are interested in that, that is good. There's plenty of information here that were basically talked about with the developers, so yeah, if you want to see that, we'll go through that maybe in a later video and get your opinions on that. Thanks very much for watching this video. If you want to check out more news and update information or guides and gameplay for World of Tanks Modern Armour or Console as it's later called, but yeah, there we go. Let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts on this update, the new season and everything regarding Arms Race. And of course, I hope you return in the next video. Thanks very much and see you soon. Goodbye.